Hey guys, my name is Casey, for those of you who haven't met me, and I am one of the new Skyline leaders. And I get the opportunity to just hang out with you guys for the next 3 years and learn more about you all and do wildlife. And I also get to share about something that's very important to me and something that's changed my life tremendously. And that's what I'm doing up here tonight. So, when I was in high school, I was the wrestling manager for our wrestling team, and I did it because my brother was where he just knew, he knew what he had to do to win, and he was just so determined to do that, and it was such a positive energy to be around, and I just wanted to surround myself around that. And one of my really good friends, Caleb, really embodied this sort of energy that my brother had, and was just a great wrestler because of that. Caleb was wrestling against an opponent who went to our rival school, and our rival school was super good at wrestling. We didn't think that we had a shot at beating them a few times, so we did a big deal. That Caleb went up against his opponent and he ended up winning. And it was so exciting. And everyone was just so happy. Everyone was cheering after he won. And everything seemed okay. Caleb and his opponent shook hands and they walked away. And then all of a sudden, the Dex came. And it was just really shocking and scary. I didn't know what to do. I was sitting right in front of them, so I was taken aback a little bit. But and part it didn't really help. So then the coaches ran out and tried helping the refs pull them apart, tried stopping the fight, and that didn't work either. Some of the wrestlers on the sides were trying to help, screaming stop, and it wasn't until when the dads from the stands came out of the stands and went up to their sons and said, "Stop, you need to do it." So tonight, I'm going to share with you all a story in the Bible where Jesus does something kind of similar to. We're looking at Mark 4, 35 through 41. That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." So Jesus and his disciples are currently on a boat, and they're on the Sea of Galilee, and Jesus wants to go over to the other side of the sea, which himself, the other side of the Sea of Galilee is just very sin-stricken, you could say, and just in need of love. Just bad, just a very bad place to be in. But Jesus knew that he had to go over there, and so he made the executive decision to go over there. Leaving the crowd behind, just as there were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't drown." She just we were on this boat in the middle of the ocean, and this huge storm comes up, and you're like, what the heck do I do? I'm about to die, and the most powerful guy here is sleeping. I'd be kind of ticked. I wouldn't really know what to do, but Jesus was just asleep. He knew that everything was going to be okay, and he had no reason to get up and freak out like the disciples were. Jesus was in the stern sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Guys, Jesus was able to calm the wind and the waves by just saying, quiet, be still. And that is just so powerful. Like, power like that, it can only be held by Jesus. And it's just amazing that he could do that. It says, Mark 4:41, they were terrified and asked each other, who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him. Even the wind and the waves obey him. The disciples knew that Jesus had this sort of power that no one else could possibly have, and had this sort of power where he could even tell the wind and the waves to calm down. He could tell a storm that had the fury and the energy enough to kill them to calm down. And guys, that's what he wants to do in our life. Jesus knows that we have problems that are bigger than anything we can handle for ourselves, and he wants to calm them down for us. He wants to be the fathers, like in the story I told you earlier, where they can just come out and tell us to calm down. He wants to do that in our lives. He wants to do that for our problems. And he has the power to. If he has the power to calm the winds and the storms, imagine what he can do in our lives, and imagine what he can do for the storms in our lives. So I just want to challenge you all tonight just to go home and think about your problems, and think about how many times you just tried to make everything okay for yourself, and how many times that's probably not worked out for you. And think about your problems now, and think about if you had Jesus and if you allowed him to fix everything for you. Because I can promise you that he can. He can do that for you, and he wants to. That's all he wants. So if you all have any questions, please feel free to come up to me or any of the other leaders. We would love to talk to you, especially about this, or about anything. And yeah, don't be afraid. So I'm going to pray for you all, and we're going to have some fun. Jesus, thank you so much for these kids and for bringing them here tonight. And I just pray that they may realize that they need you to fix their problems for them. Thank you again, and I pray that we can have some fun tonight. It's in your name, amen.